Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
It has really cooled off with all the rain the last 24 hours or so, but we will get this doubleheader underway shortly. And this is the old-fashioned 2 for the price of 1 doubleheader. Game 2 will start about 45 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. We'll have a ceremony for Jason Worth. Prior to Game 2, he will enter the Nationals Ring of Honor. And the Cubs have to figure out a way to beat Max Scherzer today, but they won a game started by Scherzer at Wrigley Field in August, and they've won a lot of games here lately against some of the other Cy Young contenders, including Jacob deGrom and Aaron Nola. So Scherzer will get loose, and let's check out the Cubs Southwest starting lineup he will face. Former National Daniel Murphy will lead things off. Tommy La Stella will get a rare start at third today. Rizzo, Zobrist, who was scratched with a neck issue last night, will clean up and play right. No Bryant, no Baez here in the opener. Almora in center. Contreras at catcher. Addison Russell playing short. Jaime Garcia can hit. He's got 3 career home runs. Ian Happ will hit ninth and play left.
And we check the Nationals defensively, brought to you by BP. You see the future out there in left and center with Soto and Robles, and Bryce Harper is due to be a free agent. This may be his last go-around with the Nats. Third base, Rendon. Trey Turner is the shortstop. Adrian Sanchez plays second. Mark Reynolds first. Matt Wieters, veteran behind the plate. And the Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher is Max Scherzer, having another brilliant year. This is start number 30 for him. 16-6 with a 2.28 earned run average. That's second in the league to Jacob deGrom. He's first in innings pitched, tied for first in wins, first in strikeouts, first in lowest batting average against. How does he do it? Well, he features a pretty good mix. Heater, that's a plus pitch for him. Slider, cut fastball, changeup, and a curveball. And with Scherzer, it's pretty much any pitch in any count. It's plus stuff, unpredictable, and a real bulldog mentality when he's out there on the mound.
Set the umpires for you here in a second as Murphy's ready to go. Here's Scherzer's first pitch, and a fastball at 94 for a strike. The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Murphy gets a hit, Binny's donates $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. And your umpires, Mike Winters, the crew chief, works home plate. He will not have to work game 2. Torres, Timmons, and Malinsky are on the bases. 0-2 is high and wide. 96 miles an hour from Scherzer.
Murphy 3 out of 18 in his career against Max Scherzer. Gets a lot of swings and misses on his changeup, especially to the left-handed hitters.
That one missed badly. 66 degrees after a rain delay of 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm a little nervous to add up the amount of rain delays so far this weekend. I'll add it up. Murphy stays alive. So an hour 21 last night, right?
Yeah.
And then 2:55 last night, and now 2:10 tonight. So that's about 6.5 hours of rain delays. The wind in the pitch, swing and a miss. Ball popped out of the mid of Wieters, but Murphy did not tip it, and that's a strikeout.
One breaking ball in that sequence, the rest fastballs. I think Daniel maybe got caught thinking soft here. A little emergency hack to try to get a piece of that fastball, but too late. Yeah, that's a lot of sitting around, just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting. Eating cookies and drinking coffee and
wondering when the rain's going to stop.
Yeah, probably watching movies down in the clubhouse or golf or whatever else happens to be going on the big screen.
La Stella with a huge game-winning home run off the bench a week ago Thursday to start this road trip, and it was a big one for him. That ball hit hard, and it'll get into left or into right past the diving Reynolds, and La Stella's got a double. And that home run came against his former team, the Braves, and we know he can hit velocity. He turned on one against Scherzer and is at second base with one out.
Yeah, I figured La Stella would be in there today against Scherzer with the doubleheader. And he talked about his quick bat, his ability to handle plus stuff. So with Murphy, La Stella, Rizzo, and Zobrist, top four in the order, all meet that criteria.
Rizzo singled in the first inning off Joe Ross last night, but all the stats were washed away with the rainout, so it didn't count. Scherzer will make the short throw to Reynolds. Estella at third, 2 down. The thing about Scherzer, it's not just ERA, which is always very good. He hasn't had an ERA in the 3s even as a national, all in the 2s since his first year here in 2015. He typically wins 14 to 20 games, but the separator is the strikeouts. He misses a lot of bats.
A couple of years ago he struck out 284. He's at 260 this year. Outside shot he could get to 300. Guessing he's got 4 more starts.
Zobrist cleaning up, and he lifts one foul to left out of play.
Yeah, he's consistent dominance from Max Scherzer. He's made 5 consecutive All-Star teams. He's won 3 Cy Young awards.
The only other pitcher with 5 consecutive 250 strikeout seasons, Randy Johnson. 6 years in a row, 97 to 02. So strikeouts number 1, I would say secondarily innings pitched. He has been over 200 innings every year since 2013 and might get to 200 innings today on the season. This is always an unfair question to ask. If a guy's career ended today, ... But we could make a case right now that he's a Hall of Famer if he doesn't pitch again. And he's 34, so he should pitch for a while. He'll have to cover first. Reynolds will get it to him. And JD can avoid the question.
No, I'm pondering my answer.
Okay. We've got some time. Nationals coming up.
Pondering.
Lineup, Trey Turner will lead things off. He leads the majors in stolen bases with 35. Rendon, Harper, and Reynolds. Then you've got the kids, Soto and Robles. Matt Wieters not a kid anymore. He'll catch and hit 7th. Adrian Sanchez at 2nd, batting 8th. And Max Scherzer hitting .271 will bat 9th.
Cubs defensively brought to you by BP. Outfield, Happ, Almora, Zobrist. Third to first, La Stella, Russell, Murphy, Rizzo. Wilson Contreras behind the plate. Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher, the veteran left-hander Jaime Garcia. 3-6, 5.93 with the Blue Jays. 13 starts, 12 relief appearances. Has not made a start since June 19th.
And a strike on Turner, as the Cubs do not expect Garcia to go very deep into this game.
He'll sink the fastball, slider, change, and curve.
This is his first start since June and his first appearance since August 20th. Cubs signed him to a minor league deal on August 31st. That is a strike, and it's 1-2.
A sense of how hard the wind is blowing. You can see his jersey ripple in the breeze there. Garcia, longtime Cardinal, had a very nice run with them. He's been pretty nomadic here the last couple of years. This is a 5th different team that he's made a start for in the last 2 seasons.
I think most Cub fans think of him as a Cardinal. Pitched for St. Louis from 2008 till 2016. Close, didn't get the call. And a full count on Turner. Pulled into the left field corner, but it's foul and out of play.
Now Garcia last year was a Brave, a Twin for 1 start, and then a Yankee for 8. So this year, as we mentioned with the Blue Jays, he signed late. He's got a tight free agent market. They signed him to a 1-year deal for $10 million. Got off to a pretty good start and fell on hard times. Got relegated to the pen. Ultimately designated for assignment.
Walk to a speedy Trey Turner. And it will bring up Anthony Rendon.
I mentioned the sinker. He also likes to throw that cutter in on the hands of the right-handed batters. A guy whose velocity is a little bit below average. It's important that you establish both sides of the plate. Unless you could just absolutely paint or have really good movement down and away, you got to run that ball in on the hands of the right-handed hitters from time to time.
Rendon, a couple of hits in the opener. The Cubs won that game Thursday night 6-4 in 10 innings. Three games here in the final 2 days of the trip. If the Cubs win 1, it will be a winning road trip. 4-game lead in the Central. Brewers won last night. Cardinals lost. They're 5.5 out. And that caught the inside edge for a strike. It's 1-1.
Garcia debuted with the Cardinals in 2008. Been around a good while. 32 years of age, from Reynosa, Mexico. He was drafted out of a high school in Mission, Texas. It's a border town. 22nd round pick in 05 by the Redbirds.
Real athletic guy. I mentioned he's got 3 career home runs. I'm not sure if he'll get an at bat today. That'll depend on the pitch count. And a check on Turner. The Corona NL Central standings. We will see the Brewers at Wrigley Field Monday night. Swing and a miss. A strikeout of Rendon. And it will bring up Bryce Harper.
Tough guy to finish off, but Garcia gets the job done.
Harper did not have a hit Thursday. He did walk and reach on an error. Leads the NL with 105 free passes. And looks at ball one. And that tells you he has a very good eye. And I think a lot of pitchers tend to work around it.
Oh, sure. Talk so much about lineup protection. It's hard to protect a guy like Harper. No matter who's on deck, you don't want to give in. Delete all cookies when facing a guy like Bryce Harper.
Bottom of the zone fastball for a strike.
Garcia's handled him. He is 3 out of 18 lifetime against Jaime. One of those 3 hits, a home run. Strong as an ox, he can go deep to any part of the ballpark. Does a lot of damage. Straightaway center field.
Good try. A little low. 2-1. Turner has not really looked like he wants to go since he reached on the leadoff walk. He goes this time, and the throw's going to be late. Number 36. Will lead the majors for Turner.
Well, he gets there with Harper in the batter's box with a 3-1 count now, so we'll see how aggressive Garcia is with an open base. You don't want to get too tentative this early in the ball game. And a dangerous man on deck as well in Mark Reynolds.
But I'm with you. You've said it for years. In terms of protection, you're not really thinking about the on-deck hitter when you're facing Bryce Harper as he takes ball 4.
Yeah, you know, I think it matters, you know, late in game when you're deciding if you're going to intentionally walk somebody or not. But just in terms of the, you know, the at bat per at bat over the course of the game until you get into the late innings. There's very few guys that I'm going to look over in the on-deck circle and go, oh, he's over there, therefore I'm just going to throw this heater right down the middle to Bryce Harper or Chris Bryant or Anthony Rizzo or any of the elite hitters in the game.
Former National Brandon Kinsler is up in the Cubs bullpen. So this basically is a bullpen start. Now Reynolds swings and misses. He homered in game 1, but he also struck out in a big spot late against Justin Wilson in a tie ball game. Went 2 for 5 in game 1.
Love to get the double play ball here. Obviously, Reynolds doesn't hit it on the ground that much. He's a slugger, hits it in the air. He strikes out a fair bit. He'll take his walks. Garcia's ground ball rate is right around league average and well below what he normally does in his career. Maybe throwing more cutters than sinkers.
One and two, the count on Nationals first baseman. Expect to see Ryan Zimmerman get the start in game 2. He was in their lineup last night against John Lester. Lester, by the way, will come back and start Monday night at home against Milwaukee. Runners take off, pitch in the dirt, and they're both going to reach. So Turner's got 2 steals in the inning. Harper gets his 12th.
For me, wind was probably the toughest element to deal with as a pitcher. Talk about extreme heat, extreme cold, rain. Wind was the biggest issue when it was really blowing hard. Not just the fact that it might blow out of the ballpark and it's blowing out, but just the balance on the mound and the field. Sometimes if you're throwing into a wind, it feels like it's never going to get there.
Infield back except for Rizzo, and Garcia would love a strikeout. Turner at third and 1 out. Harper at second as well. It is very windy. StatCast AI powered by 8WS. And it does not have to be hit very deep for Trey Turner to score. Reynolds walks. So walk, strikeout, walk, walk with 3 stolen bases. So we haven't seen a ball put in play, and it will bring up the 19-year-old phenom Juan Soto.
The Nationals lineup doing a very nice job here. Garcia doesn't have the plus fastball, so he's moving the ball off the plate, trying to get them to expand, and they're just not biting. And that's the story with this kid Soto, too, for such a young player. Among the many things that grab your attention, his walk rate is among the best in the league. He is very disciplined.
Double play depth in the middle. It is still very lightly raining. And some gusting winds. Bounce to Rizzo, past Rizzo into right. 2 runs will score, and the Nationals have the early lead. Juan Soto with a 2-run single.
He got his ground ball with the bases loaded, and Anthony Normally he's going to make a play on this ball. It was a tricky play, had a funky hop. And normally he's going to at least be able to knock this ball down and get an out somewhere. And I don't know if he got screened a little bit by the base runner. Kind of funky looking.
Here comes Joe Madden, and we might get a real quick move here. That'll be it for Garcia. So only able to record 1 out in his Cub debut. 2-0 in the first. We'll be right back. BioFreeze called to the pen, official external pain relief of the Chicago Cubs. Brandon Kintzler, not used to coming into a game in the first inning. In fact, I'd be surprised if he's ever done it. This is his 360th Major League appearance, all in relief. Nationals lead 2-0.
It's been a rough go for Brandon since joining the Cubs. He's allowed runs in 6 of his last 8 appearances, including a 4th spot he gave up to the Reds back on the 25th of August. He gave up 1 in Philadelphia on this trip, and then his next outing a couple of days later in Milwaukee, they got him for a run as well.
Victor Robles gets the start in center field. And popped up and caught by Rizzo in foul territory for out number 2.
To my imagination, or was Riz trying to keep both feet in bounds?
I think he was.
So he could get a first down. Yeah.
And I think he did.
Gotta have fun at the ballpark. No, he didn't.
But in this sport, the catch will still count. Now, switch hitting catcher Matt Wieters recently dealing with a hip issue. So his first action in 4 days. And he takes low for ball 1.
Appearance number 17 for Brandon in a Cub uniform. 849 the earned run average. With the Nationals, he posted a 3.59. That's the guy the Cubs are hoping shows up here. He could be a real important piece down the stretch and into the postseason.
Out into left center, and a diving attempt. Happ can't catch it. A run will score. It's a bloop single for Wieters, and it's 3-0.
All 3 walks come around to score. Chopping base hit by Soto that eluded Rizzo. Now this little flare into left, everything going the Nationals' way. And Happ just can't quite get the glove underneath.
So 3 early runs in support of Max Scherzer. Adrian Sanchez swings and misses. He's playing second base. His first action of the series. He's in his 4th major league stint this year, making his 19th career start. Kintzler's 0-1. Now 2 strikes on the Nationals utility man.
Comes into this ball game with 98 major league plate appearances under his belt last year, and in those 98 plate appearances, he's taken 1 walk. So you kind of know what he's all about. He's up there hacking.
Bounced foul to Bob Henley, third base coach. Knocked down by Contreras. Three 3-0 Washington first inning. Called strike 3 to finally end it. They send 8 to the plate and get 3 runs on just 2 hits. It's 3-0 after an inning. Almora, Contreras, and Russell in the second inning against a guy who already has 3 Cy Young awards, and a big-time contender for a 4th.
So the question you posed is, if his career were to end today, would he be a Hall of Famer?
6-time All-Star, 2 league strikeout titles, 3 times has led his league in wins.
So it would be under the Koufax model of not longevity but short period of dominance.
Almora swings away and sends a fly to Harper and right.
Not as dominant as Koufax, but obviously that's setting the bar awfully high. So to answer your question without doing a deep dive, I would say if I had a vote, I would say yes. But my best guess is he probably hasn't done enough yet.
And by enough, do you mean just compiling wins?
Yeah, so that's, and you know, and I think over time now the Hall of Fame voters are going to have to change their thinking a little bit, because some of those milestones that we used to contemplate.
This is going to be 2 quick outs here as the Cubs are avoiding strikeouts, but not outs.
Strikeouts and weak contact for the power arms. You can see a lot of that. You know, 300 wins. That's automatic pretty much in trying to win all of it. But guys aren't pitching as many innings and not making as many starts. They're not in position to win as many games as players were a couple generations ago. So I think that goes away. You don't have to be a 300 win guy to obviously be a Hall of Famer. And there's plenty of guys that are already in from previous generations that weren't.
Russell takes a strike.
And we have a better understanding of the value of wins, or I guess I should say lack thereof. So I think if you're a guy who is a dominant, a top 3, top 5 pitcher over a 10-year period, probably worthy of enshrinement.
So I'm not arguing with you, because you said you would tend to vote yes. We'll continue this conversation later as he makes very quick work of the Cubs in the second, leading 3-0.
with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. They're taking off the raincoats. They're putting up the umbrellas. Not sunny, but it's improved a little bit.
So the good news is for the Cubs, they've got a lot of extra guys in their bullpen with the expanded September roster. But the tricky part for Joe is that he doesn't want to use everybody here in game one. He wants to certainly make sure he has enough in the tank for game two behind Cole Hamels.
Right, especially once you're down early to a guy like Scherzer. You don't stop competing. You don't give up. But, you know, if the Nationals were to extend their lead a little bit, you're going to manage your bullpen differently than you would if you managed to shut them down here for a while.
And what that could mean is that you extend a few of your guys, maybe more than you normally would. So maybe multiple innings for 2 or 3 guys. And then if you do that, they're probably not available the rest of this series.
Right, and maybe you take a run with Norwood or Maples. I think right now, and again, it's awfully early. You don't want to give up altogether, but you want to make sure you got your guys available for the nightcap in support of Hamels.
Outside on Scherzer, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He works very hard on his hitting, and he's batting .271. Career .198.
Well, maybe if he doesn't win the Cy Young, he'll accept the Silver Slugger as a consolation prize. Yeah, Cub hitters, man, they've been through the gauntlet. You know, going back to the Syndergaard start, and DeGrom, Foltynewicz, Nola.
Scherzer strikes out. Ball pops out of the mid of Contreras, but they'll complete the play at first.
It's September. Everybody in. Support your Cubs during this final month as they push their way towards postseason baseball. Tickets available for all remaining games, but they are going fast. Visit Cubs.com before it's too late.
Turner started the first inning with a walk. He would steal 2 bases and come home on the Soto 2-run hit. Trying to piece together what happened last night. We don't know all of the details, but you know, MLB has most of the control over what happens in terms of when to start a game and when to postpone a game. We had a delay of almost an hour and a half before the first pitch was thrown. Clearly they thought there was a window. Ross and Lester, the 2 starting pitchers, worked an inning. Ross, I think, got a couple of outs in the top of the second, and then it downpoured for almost 3 hours. And Joe Maddon said at a certain point that Cubs wanted to play, and it did stop raining late in the 11 o'clock hour. But at that time they did call the game, and I guess both teams have played 3 split double headers. So to play 2 today as a single admission afternoon and evening made the most sense. I'm not exactly sure how
we
it
were
works.
told. I don't know the rules specifically, but the 3 is the limit of split double headers according to the collective bargaining agreement that players have to endure. I would imagine they could waive that.
Right.
I think that was part of the discussion last night. You know, the Nationals didn't want to lose a gate, but I think the players were of the mind like, no, we're in this. At least the Cub players, I would think, We're in the stretch of 23 in a row without an off day. We're in no mood to play a split doubleheader. Let's just play 2 one after the other.
I think the Nationals, what I read, were concerned about playing on a very wet field because last year Bryce Harper suffered an injury slipping on first base. Turner bounces to La Stella. Bad throw. Turner safe. Going to be an error on Tommy.
That's a forced error. That's a Trey Turner error right there. One of the fastest guys in the game. He forced La Stella to go quicker than he normally would. Got out of rhythm and made the errant throw. Quickly he tries to set his feet and sling that ball across the diamond. I think he had perhaps a little more time than he realized, but a high bounce, Turner going down the line, you could understand his haste.
Rendon struck out his first time up. Can't speak for everybody, but I think generally once you're here at the ballpark for 7 or 8 hours, everybody wants to get the game in. But had we played last night, the game probably wouldn't have ended till 2 or 3 in the morning. That's not ideal either. Bounce to third. La Stella gets another chance, a slip, and he will get Rendon at first.
Having a bit of an adventure. Here he's trying to be real quick. He's thinking about a force play at second. Feet go out from underneath him, and to his credit, recovers and gets the out. That is pretty impressive. Once he went down, he was able to bounce back up and get an out here.
Harper will be intentionally walked. Give him 107 walks on the year. And they'll go after Mark Reynolds instead. And then burying the lead, I think the biggest issue for both teams. The Cubs lose their ace, John Lester, after an inning. And for the Nationals, you got a guy in Joe Ross pitching for the first time in 14 months.
Right.
Ended up not counting.
He was done. Once they put the tarp on the field for the first time, I think Ross was going to be done. It had to have been a relatively short stoppage, and John maybe could have come back out.
Inside on a sinker. Kick and the pitch off the outside edge. Jorge De La Rosa is up in the Cubs bullpen. Two and one.
Lefty Soto is next. Rosa will be ready. Should Joe want him for the young slugger.
Estella, quite an adventurous inning, but the error does not hurt Brandon Kintzler. The Nationals strand a couple, 3-0 after 2.
couple of days away, folks. Cubs Brewers, first pitch 7:05. First 10,000 early arriving fans will receive an El Mago t-shirt presented by MasterCard. Tickets still available. Cubs.com.
Brandon Kintzler's previous earliest appearance in a game was in the 3rd inning. Entering in the bottom of the 1st in this one. And he's got to face Max Scherzer. 0 for 2 lifetime. With 1 strikeout. And this is his first plate appearance since 2015. Not a bad idea.
I think he's saying at least I got a foul ball.
Saying I got a piece of it. Swing and a miss.
Oh, not a bad looking hat. Not a good pitch to swing at.
3rd strikeout for Scherzer. And he really has the body language of someone who says, this is my mound. This game belongs to me. Storms around.
You hear scouts talk about mound presence. This is what they're talking about.
I like how he throws the ball up in the air. Sometimes between pitchers or batters. Standing out there, just kind of flick the ball up.
He's invested in each and every pitch. He's on the attack. And why wouldn't you be when you have his stuff?
Fouled back by Ian Happ. Batting 9th, playing left. Getting on base at a .375 clip this year. Batting left-handed. I don't know why, but I love this. It's one of those little quirks. Two and two.
On that cutter, boring hard in under the hands.
I think the other thing about Scherzer, he signed a $210 million 7-year contract after turning down $144 million from the Tigers. And you'd have to say he has totally lived up to that deal. That does not always happen.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble, obviously, to leave money on the table like that.
John Lester signed a big deal with the Cubs. He has totally lived up to that contract, but oftentimes it's a perilous thing to give a starting pitcher 5, 6, 7 years. Inside on Murphy. The 1-0.
Changed that time. Didn't have real good action. Stayed up, got away with it. Scherzer, lifetime as a starting pitcher against the Cubs, including the postseason, has made 8 starts. He's 3-1 with a .232. I got to him in Wrigley a couple of years ago. 4 home runs, 7 runs in 5 innings. That's the outlier. If you throw that one out, his lifetime ERA against the Cubs is 1.19.
Roller to second base. Sanchez up with it. Cubs held to the La Stella double in the first. The only base runners so far, trailing 3-0. As you enjoy Cold Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in today's game. 2-hour 10-minute delay before the first pitch. Nationals got 3 in the first, all charged to Jaime Garcia, who recorded 1 out in his Cubs debut. Kinsler, the last inning in 2/3, and now veteran Jorge De La Rosa.
Jorge with a 4.08 ERA, 51 appearances coming into this one, 46 in the third, 46 hits. That's 261 against him in a Cub uniform, 2.38 earned run average, covering 9 appearances.
Soto knocked in a pair with a first inning single. Tied for the 4th most home runs by a big league teenager. He has 16. The most ever in a season by a teen was Tony Conigliaro, who hit 24 in 1964. Bryce Harper hit 22 in 2012.
And he was rated the 2nd best Nationals prospect coming into this season, right behind the guy who's on deck.
1-2 on Soto. Victor Robles is the man on deck.
Despite a tough year in which they fell way below expectations, the future isn't all that grim here. Talented young players.
So you and our colleague Vince Lodel had a little fun during the rain delay of figuring out the total number of players used in this doubleheader. And the over-under is what?
Well, Vince set it at 52.
52. So in terms of, like, let's say Rizzo plays both games, he will only be credited as one. It's literally different.
So all the
players.
different guys who participate in this doubleheader. I went under. I said 49.
I took the over. Rizzo to the bag unassisted for the first out. Well, a blowout in either game will blow up that number, right? You would assume not only a lot of relievers, but a lot of bench players would get in late.
Yeah. What do we count? Is there not 65, 66 guys on both rosters right now combined?
That sounds about right. Robles made his major league debut 1 year ago yesterday. Missed a bunch of time in the minors this season due to a left elbow injury. And a ground ball that's gloved by Russell. Matt Wieters, who had a big game in Chicago on August 11th. And the Nationals' only win in this season series, 3 for 3 plus 2 walks. 1 for 1 in this one. So he's the kind of guy, if you just saw him come up to the plate, you didn't know anything about him, you'd say, what position does he play? My guess is catcher would not be even close to the top of your guessing list, right?
6'5". Too many 6'5" catchers.
6'5", 235. You might say pitcher.
Yeah, pitcher or
catcher.
Yeah, third sacker, corner outfielder.
Former Cub player and bench coach Dave Martinez chatting with his pitching coach Derek Lilliquist. Dave in his first year here in D.C. Nationals are 3 games under 500. Very disappointing year. They're 8 games out in the National League East. Bryce Harper likely to be wearing a different uniform next year. I haven't really read. I mean, are the Nationals going to make him an offer?
I think they have to, right? They have to make him an offer. I mean, they didn't trade him, so they have to be involved on some level, and it just depends on what the market does. I think if the market comes back to a more realistic number for them, they probably are pretty aggressive. If not, see you later. It's going to be big.
So Stella's been busy, and that's a 1-2-3 third for Jorge De La Rosa. The Nationals lead the Cubs 3-0 in the opener of a doubleheader. Next Cubs Authentic Fan Night Monday at Wrigley Field. Watch the Cubs take on the Brewers and visit the Authentic Fan booth inside the Gallagher Way gate. Grab a lunch bag while supplies last. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Farmers Mutual Telephone in Jessup, Iowa. Stella takes a strike.
It's change up this time. Turned on a heater for his double back in the first.
Popped up left side of the infield. Swirling wind today. And as Turner will grab it behind the third baseman Rendon.
Giants and the Brewers play a little bit later on. Gio Gonzalez, the former National, will make his Brewers debut. He'll be opposed by Chris Stratton. Cardinals are in Detroit. Rookie Jack Flaherty's having a great year for them, and he'll be opposed by Matthew Boyd.
Jeimer Candelario walked him off last night. Strike to Rizzo.
Wild card race is crazy, as is the National League West. Four-game lead for the Cubs. You think, wow, that's still pretty tight. But if you think about the calendar, Pretty comfortable lead. 22 games remaining for the Cubs. 20 for the Brewers. A lot of ground to make up in 20 games.
One and two on Anthony. Fly ball out into right center. And it's Robles. Out number two. It'll be up to Ben Zobrist with nobody on.
Like to at least have some lengthy at bats, force Scherzer to throw some pitches, maybe get into that bullpen a little earlier than you would anticipate, force Davey Martinez to make some decisions and how he uses his bullpen with a second game coming.
Mentioned Scherzer's enormous contract earlier. 7 years, $210 million. It escalates quite a bit next year. This year making just over $22 million. Final 3 years of his deal, he's paid over $42 million per season, although part of the salary deferred. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3 again. Soto has it. Cubs held to 1 hit through 4, trailing 3-0. Show me the Chicago Cubs into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. A very popular president's race here in Washington. Curved strike on Adrian Sanchez. A straight up one admission doubleheader. You don't see very many of them these days. The Cubs game notes today saying it's believed that this is the Cubs' first doubleheader in Washington, D.C. since August 20th, 1897. That was a Colts Senators matchup at old Boundary Park. One and two. Cubs playing their fourth doubleheader this season. They split the first three, which all were of the day-night variety.
Yeah, well, this is like back in the day. They used to have those twilight doubleheaders, and they would start late in the afternoon, like this one ultimately did.
Deep right center, and at that high wall, it's caught by Almora. Ball carried a long way, but for an out.
Deep finds the wall, checks the out-of-town board, sees that the Reds beat the Padres, and then makes the catch.
Scherzer struck out against Kinsler in the second. I want to know what the record is for number of pitchers faced by a starting pitcher batting. Scherzer goes deep into this game. He might face 4 or 5 different guys.
Pretty good chance, right? The way this one is trending.
Yeah, he's only made 41 pitches through 4 innings. So unless the Cubs start working some deeper counts or get some guys on base, he is poised to go pretty long today here in game 1.
Yeah, it's interesting that Nationals decided to go with Scherzer in game 1, and the Cubs decided to go Hamels in game 2. So just when you look at the pitching matchups, the most likely outcome of this doubleheader is a split, which is the way most doubleheaders end up. A high percentage of them are split. It would have been fun to see Scherzer and Hamels go head-to-head.
For the second time this season. It was that Sunday night matchup in which they both pitched well and got no decisions. The night David Bote hit the dramatic grand slam in the ninth. Russell to his glove side.
On Wednesday the 12th, Cubs Brewers, the finale of that set. First pitch 7:05, and up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans receive a Cubs digital alarm clock presented by NG. Tickets are still available at Cubs.com.
De La Rosa has retired all 5 he's faced. Turner has walked, reached on an error, and a nice play by La Stella, and Tommy gets him this time. We head off to the 5th. It's still Washington 3 and the Cubs nothing. Powered by Xfinity. Nice glove work by Tommy La Stella, who committed an error earlier, but he's been busy.
Yeah, flopping this way and that.
And didn't have a lot of time with Trey Turner running. Eleven consecutive men sent down by Max Scherzer. Slider in for a strike on Almora. He went. Slider had even more bite. Scherzer threw an inning in Game 5 of the division series against the Cubs here last year on October 12th and gave up 4 runs, 2 earned. As he took the loss, strikes out Almora.
Yeah, if you're trying to figure out a way the Cubs are going to come back and win this game, the one thing to take note of is Scherzer, despite all the great things he has done, he does give up the long ball. He's very aggressive. He's allowed 21 home runs so far this year. You know, contrast that with Jacob deGrom, who's allowed only 9.
In that wild Cubs 9-8 win over the Nationals, Gio Gonzalez started that game. Gave up 3 runs in 3 innings. Matt Albers pitched the 4th. Scherzer pitched the 5th. Brandon Kinsler worked an inning in that game. I don't know if it was the lack of routine that was the issue, or fatigue, or just the Cubs were better that night, but he didn't look like the same Max Scherzer. Threw 29 pitches to get through that inning, and again took the loss.
Constantly in motion out there. There was speculation when he was a free agent that he might sign with the Cardinals. That's where he's from. Chesterfield, outside of St. Louis, collegiately at the University of Missouri.
Bounce to the third baseman Rendon. Very solid over there. 2 down. The prevailing emotions from that wild night here last October were, oh, I feel like we're going to win. Oh man, we're going to lose. Oh, we got it. Oh man, no, we're going to lose. Oh, we got it. Oh no, we're going to. Oh, whew, we won. It was like every other inning it changed.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Cubs did win that game, it makes it a lot easier to go back and dissect it. I think it's a lot harder for the Nationals
to relive it,
to do it.
On the wrong end.
Russell takes a call third. Scherzer with 6 strikeouts and a 3-0 lead.
are on sale now and include game tickets, hotel accommodations, a rental car, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with Cub players and personnel. For more information, visit Cubs.com/destinations. And they do know how to hold the reservation.
De La Rosa continues on. This is one of those games, right, where you feel like it's 10-0 based on how Max Scherzer is pitching. It's only 3-0. So if the Cubs bullpen can hold him here,
well, this is
a chance.
This is the postseason model too. The bullpenning model, where you run a lot of different guys out of lineup, don't allow them to settle in. They're facing a different pitcher pretty much every time they come to the plate. It's tough to hit.
Rendon has faced Garcia, Kinsler, and now De La Rosa.
Left, right, left. Righty Kinsler likes to sink the ball. De La Rosa is going to throw you some off-speed stuff.
Foul territory and no play for Rizzo. The Reds beat the Padres, as JD mentioned earlier, in a rain-shortened 7-inning game, 7-2. Joey Votto hit a grand slam in that one in support of Matt Harvey. Yanked to left and foul. I think that is 11 grand slams now the Reds have hit. Something like that.
Yeah, I know at one point earlier this year they were up to 9.
They had 9 in the first half, I believe. Find Rob Butcher's post-game notes. Club record 11 grand slams, most by any team in the majors. So there you have it.
Oh, man, he's just a good hitter. Hits the ball with power, hits the ball to all fields. 25 home runs last year, 100 batted in right on the nose, a .936 on base plus slugging.
Matt Harvey had 10 strikeouts in that game. That's wide. It's 2-2. Sean Kelly is back on the mound with Oakland. His first appearance here in September. Remember, he had that dishwashing accident.
Yeah.
Cut himself.
Very sharp knife, yes.
Russell on the move. Gets Rendon. Here comes Harper. He has walked twice. Before that Cardinal Tiger game tonight, they're going to look back 50 years to the 1968 World Series, won by Detroit. I saw on Twitter yesterday they had a team picture of the surviving members of that club, I believe taken at the old Tiger Stadium site.
Convenient that they would get the Cardinals in interleague play when they're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the '68 World Series.
Ground ball over the bag. Fair. Diving stop Rizzo, and De La Rosa will not get to the bag ahead of Harper.
Late break cost him. Nice play by Anthony. Jorge just a little late to react. Top spin smash, gloved. Anthony looks up, and Jorge's not there, but he made the throw anyway, worth a shot. A little hesitation, and oh yeah. Base hit, but a mental error. Veteran De La Rosa. He'll linger behind that heater.
Game 7 of the '68 World Series. It was Mickey Lolich over Bob Gibson. Both guys went all 9.
Gibson struck out 17 in one of those World Series games.
Lolich went 3-0. That was game 1. Gibson over McLean. 17 strikeouts and a 4-0 Cardinal win.
Started rooting for the Cardinals that year because I had neighbors from Detroit. So just to be a contrarian, I picked the Cardinals. It's kind of the way I roll. I was nasty that way as an 8-year-old.
Well, that was the final year before division play began in 1969. So the Tigers and Cardinals, they each played 162 and won their league. There was no
wild card
before.
No playoffs.
Yeah, that's it. The Washington Senators of 1968 went 65-96, finished in last in the American League under manager Jim Lemon. Reynolds takes the walk.
A couple of years later, they moved to Texas and became the Rangers. '68 was the year of the pitcher. That's the year Bob Gibson had the 1.12 earned run average. The next year they lowered the mound. Maybe it's time to make another adjustment to the mound with all the velocity in the game and all the strikeouts. Could you move the mound back, move the rubber back 6 inches, a foot, without risking harm?
I haven't thought about that, but I want to tell you this first. Follow our Cubs insiders on NBCSportsChicago.com. Presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. I was not around when they made that change to the mound, but I just think with pitching health now more than ever, I don't think they'll ever change that part of
well, that's the question. How much impact would it have on pitcher health?
You'd have to be as close to 100% certain it wouldn't hurt health. That should be 2. And it is close at first, but they turn it. Good visit by Jim Hickey, as the Nationals will make sure via video that they got the call right at first. They will not challenge.
One of these days I want to see a base runner call himself out when he crosses the base.
After 5, 3-0. spot here in the 6th. Jorge did his job. Saved some of that bullpen with 3 scoreless innings. First pitch strike. Scherzer to the plate. And he nabs the corner. Andy Rosario up next, it appears. In the bottom of the 6th inning. Nationals got 3 in the 1st. Took advantage of 3 walks issued by the starter, Jaime Garcia. Or should we say the opener, Jaime Garcia? That's the new phrase, the new term.
It wasn't like he was
by the Rays.
It wasn't like he was horrible. You know, he was trying to work off the edges. The Nationals showed great patience, took some walks, then bad bounce base hit and a little bloop, and all of a sudden they had 3 runs.
Swing and a foul tip, strike 3.
Saturday the 15th, Cubs take on the Reds. First pitch 3:05. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans receive a pair of replica Chris Bryant sunglasses. Presented by Jewel Osco. Tickets still available. Cubs.com.
Ian Happ caught looking in the 3rd inning. 15 in a row. Retired by Scherzer. I think Mark Reynolds is kicking himself right now. Thinking if I had been able to make that play on La Stella, that guy might have a perfect game going right now.
He does seem to be deep in thought. Ouch. It was a perfect game.
Happ plunked.
Well, there's a base runner. Exactly a rally, but it's a start, and it's going to be the 3rd time through for the top of the order here.
Every once in a while, I will be asked on Twitter if a pitcher hits a batter, there's an error, and then that guy's eliminated via double play, so you face the quote the minimum. Can you still get a perfect game? The answer is no. Let's say a guy hits one into the gap, tries to stretch a single into a double, and is thrown out. Right, so he's out. Well, that's a hit. It's no perfect game. It's no no-hitter. There's a hit for Daniel Murphy, and the tying run will come to the plate with 1 out in the 6th inning.
Yeah, well, this is kind of the way we drew it up earlier. The Cubs bullpen piecing it together, holding the Nationals to 3. Now an opportunity to get to Scherzer here, and they got the right guys up. Murphy delivers. La Stella has already doubled, and then Rizzo Zobrist.
Elevated breaking ball toward the outer half. Murphy 1 for 3. Yeah, so no hits, no reaches for a perfect game. Crushes one foul to right. Thankfully, it hit an empty seat.
Starting a lot of the left-handed hitters with this cut fastball. La Stella was ready for it, just couldn't keep it fair.
Kick in the 0-1 is fouled upstairs. 2 strikes to La Stella. Bounce to Turner, and he turns 2, 6-3. They get Scherzer out of the 6th inning. Still 3-zip.
Welcome back, everybody. On Tuesday, the 25th, Cubs Pirates 7:05 start. Up to the first 10,000 early. Arriving adults 21 and over receive a Cubs drawstring hat presented by Rum Chata. Tickets still available at Cubs.com.
Game 1 of a doubleheader. Cubs won Thursday night in 10. Washed out last night, trailing 3-0 here in the 6th. And the new pitcher is left-hander Randy Rosario.
Rookie left-hander has handled things quite nicely. Pitched to a 2.95 ERA. He's pitched around some traffic. A lot of base runners. 42 2/3, 39 hits, 20 walks. But by and large, he's done a very nice job. You see, he's been able to neutralize left-handed hitters. Heavy 2-pitch mix, fastball, slider.
Robles with a pretty good bunt. And La Stella leaves his feet, makes the play. Tommy's been really good over there today, especially after the error he committed in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, they keep trying him, and he's been up to the challenge. A beautiful bunt by Robles, who can really scoot. Dead run comes La Stella. One measured step. Catch, fling, and fly, and he gets him. Smart play by a speedy guy on a wet field. Wet-ish. I mean, the tarp was down, but there's going to be a little moisture on there.
And switch batting Wieters. Drove in a run with a 1st inning single. Grounded to 3rd in the 3rd. Nationals have 3 hits, only 1 since the 1st inning. Now 2-1. Wieters draws a 1-out walk. Kind of a fun read. Sam Miller from ESPN.com wrote about something that I find fascinating. It's titled "When Using the On-Deck Circle Makes Absolutely No Sense." He did a deep dive on 9th inning, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, bases loaded, tie game. He said, do you stand in the on-deck circle if you're the next hitter, even though there's no way you can bat? Now, the reasons you would do it, one would be to help the runner from third, right? Although you really probably wouldn't need to help that runner very much.
Yeah, in a real scenario where that would really come into play, but it's covering your due diligence.
There's the idea of needing to have an on-deck hitter in the circle, although that gets abused all the time. It's kind of a fun one. How about second and third, tie game, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, the runner at second taking a lead. I've had that conversation with base running instructors. Why would you take a lead when you can't score? All you can do is make it out. And the answer generally is, well, you might be able to get into a rundown, but you could just sit on second base, right? Just sit there. Base hit for Sanchez.
He's had 2 real good swings today. Hit that deep drive that Almora caught up against the out-of-town scoreboard, and now this solid line drive single. Yeah, you're right. There'd be no reason to go anywhere.
Wouldn't have to take a lead of any kind. I think if you did that, though, the other team would probably get on you trying to be too cute. Yeah, funny, haha. You guys just kind of do what they do because that's generally what you do.
It comes naturally.
Well, Scherzer, third plate appearance, third pitcher faced. Good bunt. And the throw eludes La Stella, and the bases are loaded. Contreras made a nice play, and they should have had the out at third. We'll get one more look at it. Maybe a high throw, but it hit Tommy in the glove. We'll see how they score.
Yeah, not an easy play. La Stella's got to retreat to the bag. The throw's a little bit offline. He has to reach for it. Trying to maintain contact with the base at the same time. So a heck of a bunt by Scherzer.
Error will be on the throw. Yeah, it was an errant throw. Fielder's choice for Scherzer. And ball 1 on Turner.
To me, that's one of those where the play's got to go to first base. Just get the shore out there. Would have been the second out in the inning.
Two and 0 now on Trey Turner. Infield about halfway in. Three and 0 with the bases full. 4-0. Turner will get an RBI.
All about the walks today. 3 issued in the first inning. They all came around to score. 1 out walk here. Comes home on the walk Turner. And his day is done.
Joe will make a change here in the 6th. Nationals lead 4-0, and we'll be right back. Former Bears Matt Forte, Lance Briggs, Alex Brown, along with host Lawrence Holmes after the Bears take on the Packers. A football after show presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, only on NBC Sports Chicago. BioFreeze call to the pen. Rookie James Norwood is on.
Prior to last year, James had not pitched above Class A ball. Made it to AA last year, AA, AAA in the big leagues this season. The minor league numbers outstanding. A lot of work here at the big league level. Just 7 innings. He's got a plus arm, a fastball to touch 100 miles per hour. Averages right around 97. Slider and a split.
I probably shouldn't laugh, but it's funny. Rendon with 3 on and 1 out. 99 on the fastball from Norwood for ball 1.
So indeed, a 4th different pitcher faced by Rendon here. Punch out, a couple ground outs thus far.
Popped up, short right. Trouble, dropped by Rizzo. The throw to second gets away, and it's 5-0.
Almost had an out on 2 different occasions on that play, but come away with nothing. Anthony usually pretty good at making this catch running down the line. Well, he looked like he was starting to yield to Zobrist, then realized he was the best option, and just finding Zoe, he looks back up, finds the ball, can't secure it. He's got a shot at Turner at second base, and he couldn't hang on there either.
Waiting to hear a scoring decision.
I think that's got to be a base hit.
I would think a hit. This one gets away and bounces out of play. It's 6-0.
You say a lot, when you don't get an out on a bunt play, it often comes back to bite you, turns into a big inning. Contreras makes a lot of plays with his arm, so that's one of the trade-offs. Steals outs that others might not. This time, in the prudent play, probably go to first, but if that throw had been accurate, they get Wieters at third.
A wild pitch allowing Scherzer to score. So 3 in the first, 3 more here in the 6th. All these 3 charged to Rosario. Winfield in second and third. Turner the runner at third, Rendon at second, and Rendon did get an RBI hit on the blooper. Bounce to Murphy, throw to the plate, gets past Contreras. Man, oh man. That is what, the third throw that has not either been caught or hit the target in this inning. 7-0.
And again, the influence of Turner's speed. One, they force the infielder to hurry the throw a little bit, and he gets there just as the ball is getting to home plate. A little bit offline. Starting to resemble the game in Milwaukee the other day that the Cubs lost 11-1.
Reynolds takes a strike. Fielder's choice E4, so no RBI for Harper.
Three errors for the Cubs this afternoon.
Toward the hole. They will get one. That'll be it. Reynolds will get an RBI on the fielder's choice, and the Nationals may look at video to make sure Murphy was on the bag as he got the throw from Russell and then made the relay throw. I think he was. Going with yes. And they will not challenge.
Close, but I think he was okay.
Yep. So an 8-0 ball game here in the 6th. Bases now a runner at first with 2 outs, and Soto checks his swing and lines foul.
Don't know exactly what Joe has in mind for his lineup for the nightcap, but now I'm sure he's thinking about getting some of these guys, if he's planning on playing, say, Rizzo or Murphy or Addy in both games, getting them off their feet perhaps for the rest of this one.
Bench coach Brandon Hyde talk it over. The other one is usually in September you wouldn't think about a position player pitching. But might you save 1 inning or 1 guy for later tonight out of your bullpen?
Yeah, you could, but I think the Maples and Chatwood, Gunsing probably have enough to cover this one and not feel like you're going to be short for the nightcap, but maybe, yeah.
Fouled away. Does Harper ever have a bad hair day? Maybe you're the wrong person to ask.
Well, no, I don't know. I mean, he's got tremendous flow there. He's got great depth.
It sure seems like he doesn't wear his hat much in the dugout. Right?
No,
I think if he could, he would probably not wear a hat in the field.
Was that an option for Players Weekend? Could they have gone hatless?
Ooh. Called strike 3. Soto thought he had walked twice, but Norwood strikes him out. The Nationals do get 5, an ugly inning for the Cubs defensively. It's 8-0 as we head to the 7th.
Come on, just say you missed it.
Nationals thought it was low.
Well, it wasn't caught very well by Wilson, so you can understand the consternation coming from the National side over there. It's probably low, but not as bad as they believe it was. And it's 8-0 in the first game of a doubleheader.
Victor Caratini.
Oof. That's nasty breaking ball.
He should reach here. As Rendon didn't have a play. Infield hit for Victor. So he'll likely play first after batting for Rizzo.
First pitch curveball comes back with the changeup. He really hasn't thrown that many of them today. The Cubs have been aggressive pretty early, so a lot of early fastballs put in play out in front of the changeup, soft contact, but turns out just nicely for Caratini.
Tyler Chatwood is up in the Cubs bullpen. I think the hope here is that Tyler can give you two innings. And you don't have to worry about a position player pitching. And again, normally it would not be an issue, but just with another game tonight, you want to make sure you're covered. One to Zobrist. That'll get in. Caratini will head to third. The Cubs go first to third on a single, way more often than any other team in baseball. And by far their best rally against Scherzer today.
Made a little noise last inning, but that went away on the inning-ending double play. And, soft single, solid single, and they set up shop first and third.
Pitch to Almora is a strike. Albert has flied to right and fanned in his 2 trips.
Seven strikeouts for Scherzer today. 15 times this year he has struck out 10 or more in a game.
Bounced foul to third.
Right on right changeup for a little different look. He has struck out 200 or more in 7 consecutive seasons. That's tied for second all time behind Tom Seaver, who did it 9 years in a row. Scherzer is tied with Roger Clemens and Walter Johnson.
He's got 1,000 strikeouts with 2 different teams, the Tigers and now the Nationals. One of 11 pitchers to do that. And he fans Almora again.
Cub fans, do you know what tickets you want for next season? Here's your first chance to secure those seats. You must have games for the 2019 season. Visit Cubs.com/deposits for all the details.
You've probably seen the list, right? Guys with 1,000 strikeouts with 2 teams.
I did run across that earlier. Yeah. You're going to throw a little trivia at me?
Well, no. Contreras with a base hit. Cubs on the board. It's 8-1. I would have, yes, but now that you know, that wouldn't make a lot of sense. But I will give you the list.
Given me to complain, well, we should let our viewers get out a scratch pad and write it down. So what's the question? 1,000 strikeouts
with 2 different teams. 11 pitchers all time have done it. On the list, there is 1 pitcher who at one time was a Cub. He was part of that group. I'll tell you one I would never have gotten. Like Randy Johnson's an obvious one, right? Roger Clemens would be another. Mark Langston.
Yeah.
The Angels and the Mariners.
Nolan Ryan's on there.
Cy Young, Jim Bunning, Mike Mussina, CC Sabathia. And the Cub was Greg Maddux. He did it in Chicago and Atlanta.
He's overpowering Addy with heaters here. See if Addison can make an adjustment. It looks like he might go slide ball here. Change up.
I don't know if I mentioned Sabathia, but Louis Tiant also on that list. Good list. Actually, the biggest surprise on that list is that Nolan didn't do it with 3 teams. He had 939 strikeouts as a Ranger. So he was close.
Let him know, yeah, he might want to make a comeback.
Just got to find a way to strike out 61 guys.
He could probably still give you 92.
Lined and caught by Soto. And Zobrist back to second base.
Well, that's unfortunate. Real good swing there by Addy. After change up breaking ball, he comes back with a heater, and Russell was ready for it this time, and you see his frustration. Oh man, deserved better.
Javier Baez off the bench. First pitch swinging, foul pop up, and Reynolds will make the grab. The Cubs get on the board. But still trailing by a bunch here in D.C. in game 1, 8-1.
And more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Changes. Caratini at first after hitting for Rizzo. Tyler Chatwood will do the pitching. Looks like Terrence Gore is now in left, and Ian Happ moves to right field. A tough year for Tyler in his first season as a Cub. Most of these numbers compiled as a starter. There's Gore, and Happ moving from left to right. And it is raining again.
Tyler has not pitched for the Cubs since August 18th. Placed on the DL, went down to AAA, and worked a little bit down there.
Two and 0 on Robles. And it hit him.
And just arm side command of the fastball. I mean, command in general has been an issue, but this in particular, anytime he tries to throw a fastball away to a lefty into a righty, he just sails on him.
Here's Wieters. Keeps bouncing back and forth. He hit left-handed against Kinsler, singled in a run in the first. Right-handed against De La Rosa. In the third, he bounced out. Right-handed against Rosario, walk and a run. And now back to the left side against Chatwood. Fastball strike. Tyler still the major league most in walks, 93 so far. And he's now hit 7 batters as well. Caratini will spin, throw, and get one. Relay late.
Good curveball there. Gets the ground ball. I thought Victor might just go to first base to get the shore out. Pretty nimble play by Victor, who started his career as a third baseman before making the move behind the plate.
Sanchez 1 out of 3. Inside, ball 1. It was interesting to read some of Justin Wilson's comments about his command issues. He's been terrific here lately, and for a while he couldn't find anything mechanically. But they kept digging and found just the slightest issue he was having. This was maybe a little bit too closed. And I think he kind of admitted, whether it was psychological or not, I think when a guy can grab onto something and say that's it,
definitely a placebo effect.
It's a little bit of a relief. Yeah. Gets past everybody on ball 4.
Think Davey Martinez told Max, first and foremost, be ready to get out of the way.
Dylan Maples now getting loose.
If you've ever had the yips in golf, anything like that, where the brain gets in the way of the body, you know what Tyler's going through.
It's been tough to watch, and it's been tough on his teammates because they really respect how he's gone about it. He hasn't made excuses. He's faced the music. He's talked to the media. Hasn't ducked it. I think the toughest part, and you could probably ask Justin Wilson about it, is you wear a new uniform and you probably don't even realize you're putting even more pressure on yourself, right, to impress your new teammates and your new organization.
Yeah. Sometimes. And I think that may have been the case with Wilson last year when he joined the Cubs. Independent race, the try too hard, and then things go bad and they snowball on you. The Chatwood situation for me is different. Obviously, it's much longer, bigger body of work for a starting pitcher as opposed to a short reliever.
Second and third, raining harder. Base hit for Scherzer. 9-1. He's done it all today.
Well, apparently every game that he's not pitching, he goes up and does some work off the tee in the second inning. It's any pitchers that do that. It was a breaking ball that got away from Tyler.
Strike to Turner.
You see Turner shaking his head after that breaking ball went over his head, though. He's just not comfortable.
And as you know, there's just nothing in this game is black or white. So you look at his mechanics and you go, well, if you clean them all up, maybe simplified, but part of what makes him deceptive are his mechanics. So you tweak here and there, but I don't know if you can really fundamentally change what he does.
I think he can. I think it's just going to take a big commitment and a lot of time in the offseason. He's got some extra motion with his arm action. He has a hard time catching up. His delivery is quick. Stay back over the rubber just a little bit longer and maybe smooth out his arm action. Because you're right, deception is important, but the velocity and movement that he has is really good.
Nice play, Caratini from a knee. They'll get the out at second. Another run scores. It's 10-1. Turner notches his second RBI today. Rendon with a man at first, 2 runs in, way high for ball 1. The other thing that just compounds the issue is it's really hard to get a borderline call when you're not around the plate consistently. Got one there. 2-1.
Yeah, and it's not like umpires are punishing you for throwing a lot of balls. It's just, I think they get into a pattern where they start to anticipate ball. I've heard the argument put forth that a guy that's wild shouldn't get borderline pitches. I don't buy that. Strike is a strike and a ball is a ball, but it's just that the umpire again, you almost become conditioned to expect the ball out of the zone.
Is 2-2. Lifted to left. Gore will make the play. They put up 7 in the last 2 innings to really open it up 10-1.
Time now for Benny's toast of the game. And Max Scherzer, no surprise here. The big right-hander has been dominant here today. Toast of the game presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
Scherzer against Happ. Ball 1.
Into the 8th, just 81 pitches made by Scherzer. Cubs were aggressive early. He took advantage, got a lot of quick outs. So plenty left in the tank.
Bunch of changes for the Nationals. Michael Taylor in center. Wilmer Depot at second. Robles now playing right. Harper's done. Sanchez now at third. Rendon is out. There's Taylor. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sunday on NBC Sports Chicago, Cubs wrap up the series here in D.C. Mike Montgomery will take on Erick Fedde. Coverage begins at noon. And you can stream the game live on the NBC Sports app. David Bote. Scherzer's now got 9 strikeouts. David batting for Murphy. Just outside. Bodie, the big go-ahead double on Thursday. Second game-winning hit this year against the Nationals. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. He's got 10.
Yeah, well, he knows he's getting towards the end of the line here. He's not saving anything. He's just turning it loose. A lot of grunting, a lot of elevated heaters at 95. Lane changing breaking ball in the whole package. So we've seen DeGrom, we've seen Nola, now we see Scherzer, the three top candidates for the Cy Young Award in the National League, and you can understand why it's going to be an awfully tough decision for the voters.
So he's made 30 starts and more than half have included double digits in strikeouts 16 times. And the Nationals look poised to go 21-9 when Scherzer pitches.
Yeah, and it's not like he pitches away from contact. He hasn't walked anybody today. He throws a lot of first pitch strikes. He just overpowers you in the zone. He gets a lot of swings and misses in the strike zone.
Bounce to Defoe. So is Scherzer done, or will Dave Martinez let him try to finish it? 10-1 in the 8th. For our next Cubs Authentic Fan Night Monday at Wrigley Field, the Cubs host the Brewers. Watch or visit the Authentic Fan booth inside the Gallagher Way gate. Grab a lunch bag while supplies last. We started 2 hours 10 minutes late due to rain. It is raining once again, but we play on. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Nationals leading 10-1. Three 3-0 on Wilmer Defoe. Bodie stays in and plays second. And Taylor Davis now catching. Defoe walks. Reynolds takes a strike. These guys were teammates last year with the Rockies. Should be 2. And are you kidding? That is one of the weirdest looking double plays you'll see. They got them both somehow, some way.
Yeah, check this out. To Hopper to Russell. Bodie kind of Spins around after getting the awkward feed from Addy and still manages to pull it off.
Nice recovery by Bodie. So 2 outs. It's Soto. Go ahead 2-run single in the opening frame. That's what Tyler did early in the year. He was walking people, but he would tend to dial up that double play ball with regularity. As Davis will get Soto, and we'll go to the 9th inning. It's the Nationals 10 and the Cubs 1 in the doubleheader opener. Time now, just like we promised, for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. Max Scherzer playing the whole game. And an RBI hit for him, and he's trying for a complete game here this afternoon. If he gets it, it'll be the 10th of his career and the 2nd this season.
Which would tie him with Jameson Taillon for the most in the National League.
Ball 1 on Caratini. .93 pitches for Scherzer. And a foul strike.
He tries to build his Cy Young resume here, the complete game, something that might, if everything else is close to equal, maybe could influence somebody. DeGrom's got the sparkling ERA. Scherzer will have the strikeout numbers and the wins.
Swing and a miss. It's funny. We saw DeGrom recently, and I'm like, he'd get my vote. Then you watch this guy work, and you go,
I know, right?
How do you not vote for him?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to come down to the final few starts. If somebody lays an egg, somebody goes out and gives up a 6th spot, they lose.
Base hit to start the 9th. Cubs with their 6th hit of the night. And Victor is 2 for 2 off the bench. Hefty home run leaderboard. Baez, Schwarber, and Rizzo leading the way.
And what I like about both Scherzer and DeGrom is just the way they get after it, man. It's like, let's go, boys. And again, why would you not when you have the kind of stuff they have? But contrast Scherzer with Strasburg, who we saw the other day. Strasburg's got a big arm, and he's a wonderfully talented guy too, but he is nowhere near the predator on the mound that Scherzer is.
Terrence Gore takes a ball. We don't want to give short shrift to Aaron Nola of the Phillies, also in that conversation. Up the middle and through. Back-to-back hits. The Nationals bullpen quiet. That will likely now change with consecutive singles.
Yeah, well, and thinking of it from protecting or trying to enhance Scherzer's case here, they don't want to see him give up a 4 spot.
Hey, Gore, by the way, with his first major league hit, there's another base hit. The bases are loaded.
That's right. That is Terrence's first knockout. Did that ball come in?
I would assume the Cubs asked for it. He's been in the big leagues a lot. This is Gore's 54th major league game, but we've told you many times he hasn't hit a whole lot. It was only his 16th major league plate appearance. And his first major league hit comes off Max Scherzer. Congratulations, Terrence Gore. There will be some action in the Nationals pen. It's Wander Suero, a right-hander. Davis swings and misses. Singles by Caratini, Gore, and Almora to start the ninth.
Sets up over the outside corner, but Scherzer's not really trying to hit a spot. He's just trying to blow it by him.
A drive out into deep right. Hauled in. Robles. Caratini scores. Sacrifice fly for Davis. 10-2.
Taylor drove in a run in the opener of this series the other night. Insurance run in the 6-4 Cubs win. So he picks up his second RBI. Does it with 2 strikes.
Russell with runners at first and second.
Spinning out of that delivery a little bit, leaving those sliders on the inner half.
You know, we're going to have to find out what the record is for a non-pitcher in terms of games played at the big league level without a hit. I wonder if Terrence Gore might have set the record. Into center. Gore will score easily. 10-3. 4 singles here in the ninth for the Cubs.
A good moment for Gore.
Chris Bryant's going to bat. Dave Martinez is heading out to the mound. And that looks to be it for Scherzer. I think he just said, "I'm good if you want it." I think
that's what Davey deferring to his veteran. He's got a lot on the line this year, and he's just wanted to check with him.
Most managers will say they know the answer in terms of what they're going to do before they walk out of the dugout. But I think this was a case where maybe needed to go out just to make sure with a couple of runs scoring here. Scherzer wasn't done, and he gave him a pretty emphatic answer. Swing and a miss by the pinch hitter Bryant. But can you imagine another scenario in the history of this game in which a player got his first big league hit in his 54th appearance, a non-pitcher? I'd be shocked if that had ever occurred before.
Herb Washington is the only one that comes to mind.
Did he play that many games?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up.
1-2.
Herb Washington stole 29 bases. He had 0 at-bats in his career. He played 105 games, 0 at-bats. All he did was pinch run.
That would be the other count. Not one plate appearance. Amazing. Scherzer strikes out Bryant. 2 down in the ninth. I think the unspoken assumption here after Martinez went to the mound is if Scherzer gives up another base runner, he'll be done. So he faces Happ with 2 on and 2 out. And it's ball 1. High fly ball. This should do it. It'll be caught by Taylor, and Max Scherzer goes the distance. Cubs made him really work for it in the ninth. 4 hits and 2 runs. But the Nationals take the opener of the doubleheader. 10-3 the final.
It was a fairly competitive game into the middle innings after the Nationals put that 3 spot on the board in the first. Cubs bullpen did a nice job keeping him off the board, and then things just got a little bit ugly from the 6th inning on. Scherzer does his job as the ace of the staff, saves the bullpen in game 1 of the doubleheader.
So for JD and our entire crew here at Nationals Park, Len Kasper with your final score. Nationals 10, Cubs 3. We're back with you tomorrow here on NBC Sports Chicago at noon to wrap up the series. Game 2 of the doubleheader will be on